Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to Mind Your Biz, the only show where we talk about anything at all that you ever want to know. Jokes aside, you subscribe to this channel to receive news about proof of work mining, about proof of stake systems and how to set them up, how to profit from them if you're interested in validator infrastructure, but also a 360-degree view of the markets, both proof of work and proof of stake projects, as well as tokens, NFTs, play to earn, and so many other topics. We cover the news in a way that helps you become more informed, but not just more informed, more educated on how to benefit from the technical side of being involved in blockchain. Yeah, nobody does it quite like we do it. Thank you for being here, and thank you for your support. We'll be on screen very soon. Many other topics. And while we're waiting for more people to jump into today's live stream, do be sure that you smash that like button, that you share this media while it's live, because that is when the magic happens. The YouTube algorithm is, well, you know, we love it. We love to hate it. It's kind of this ongoing battle, but if you share this while we're live, it helps YouTube figure out that this is media that people will like and that they'll benefit from. And believe it or not, even folks who are subscribed to the channel with notifications turned on do not get those notifications unless you share the link. It's so weird, but it's part of their system and it's part of their game. I'm just trying to play it. Thanks for playing along. And proof of live stream comments, we got Automatic Beats saying, "Good morning, miners." Thank you so much, Automatic Beats, for being here with us live. Thanks for spending a little bit of time with the Mind Your Biz community. Thank you for your support. And back by popular demand, we have Mrs. Mind Your Biz. Mrs. Mind Your Biz, hello.
Good morning.
All right. Oh, it was a mad dash getting to this point this morning, but we survived somehow.
Here we are.
So we did it again. Another day in the books. Not dead. All right. Looks like we've got solid stream health, and it looks like our viewer count is moving up on our dashboard from the back end. Likes are going up. Thank you so much for hitting all those buttons. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Welcome back to Mind Your Biz. My name is Seth, and I have with me Mrs. Mind Your Biz.
Hello.
Boys, calm down. Calm down. Really. Be cool. And today we've got a phenomenal lineup of content for you. We've got content from all around the globe. We're covering some Eastern European news. We're covering some Western European news. We're covering some Southeast Asian news too, I think.
Thailand?
I think we got something for that news coming out of Thailand. For some of today's content, we've got news coming out of the Caribbean. It's a big deal. We really did go international with the news today, and we do want to get a sort of a quick topical overview of all of that stuff before we jump into portfolios, because we missed portfolios on Tuesday. That was the one part of the show that we did not jump into very deeply. We want to do that today. So thank you so much for your patience. Thank you so much for, again, your support. Thanks for sharing the link while we are live. Let's jump, without further ado, straight into the Fear and Greed Index. Mrs. Mind Your Biz, what is the Fear and Greed Index today?
Oh.
Fear and Greed Index. There we go. Let me enunciate.
So greed is people are happy about what's happening, and fear is people are not. Fear.
That is correct. And today we've got...
Not going well.
Yeah, right? We got a score of 22. Not the best, but here's the thing. I view this as a counterindicator, Mrs. Mind Your Biz.
Oh.
When people are fearful, I think that we should be greedy. And when people are greedy, I think we should be a little more concerned.
That tends to be the sage advice of most investors.
Right? I'm just trying to learn from people that are smarter than us at investing, and that's what they always say.
Yes.
Right? Charlie Munger, Robert Kiyosaki, even Dave Ramsey kind of is behind that one too.
My
kind of
old
saying, hey.
college professor.
Yeah, right. Your college professor was really sharp. Really miss him quite a bit, actually. One of the people who helped me feel sane there. But before we move on, this is Mind Your Biz. Is any of this stuff legal, financial, or business advice? Are you a CPA?
Oh, no.
Yeah,
never.
Am I a CPA?
These are just opinions.
Absolutely, just opinions, and we're here to entertain, delight, and educate you. Well, get educated together as we go. Let's jump back into it. Fear and Greed Index, this is kind of the story over the last month. Not much has changed. Realistically, the markets are not all that different than they were about a month ago. And here's what that means on the weekly with CryptoBubbles.net. What we're seeing is some huge outliers. I didn't expect to see this morning. And Mrs. Mind Your Biz, when you were going over the news cycle with me, I didn't expect for this to be the case. But what's our biggest gainer on the weekly?
Is that Ethereum proof of work?
Yeah, Ethereum proof of work, ETH-W, back from the dead maybe. I don't know what the full story is there, but clearly there's some changes, and it has kind of had the highest lift over a 1 week period. And personally, I still think that's because of market manipulation or because of some manipulation. I think we have some news that talks about that and exactly why. Maybe we don't. Maybe we did leave that out. But yeah, I think we did leave that out. And here's the upshot of that. Mind Your Biz community, because so many of you are proof of work miners, so many of you are GPU miners, you're aware that the ETH-W fork, that the ETH proof of work fork was pretty much created in order for GPU miners to continue to mine something and continue to make profits. Well, ideally make profits. It isn't actually profitable on the daily to mine. But the point is you can still get profit from this coin. Well, guess who just launched a new mining pool for ETH-W? Binance, right? So CZ from Binance and all the crew over at Binance decided, you know what? The gravy train is just too good. We have to get involved. And this was true of the Bitcoin Cash fork in 2016 as well, where there were a couple of groups like Binance that decided to pick winners. And they said, you know what? We really think that this is important, so we're going to put our weight behind this. And they're at it again, right? Binance is trying to get us to believe that there's some reason to think that there will be a future for ETH-W. I don't see it personally, but they're still betting on that horse. I think they probably have a lot of holdings here. And again, there's an exchange. Their business model is every time somebody trades this token for a different token, they make a small percentage of those fees.
Oh, okay.
So they've got all the incentive in the world to get new tokens onto their platform and get people actively trading them as rapidly as possible. There we go. Hey, we got Trey saying, good morning. Good morning, y'all. Happy to be finally be catching a live stream. Thanks for all you do, Mind Your Biz. Thanks so much. Appreciate that, Trey. Mrs. Mind Your Biz is here helping to do the heavy lifting as well. She went through a lot of our articles today and assisted in vetting these so we could have a really great show today. But you can see across the board, we got so many winners. We've got some losers too, right? Leo token, DeFi, Ton token, Lido, which is, that's just unfortunate. Algorand and Cosmos. It pains me to see Cosmos continuing to move to the downside. I think people have already bought the rumor and sold the news early with the whole Atom 2.0 coming out and the additional functionality that we covered on Tuesday. Mm-hmm. I think that some people are just a little bit ahead of the curve. Like, all right, I'm going to buy that up. I'm going to sell that now because people are excited now. And so you do get a lot of algorithmic trading as well, where people can kind of, it's not people, it's bots, to kind of get ahead of that curve, and it can cause some issues too. But it's a bummer. I really do think the fundamentals for Cosmos and Atom are quite good, and they've been quite good. It's been a sleeping giant for some time. MakerDAO up, Helium up, Solana up even. That's, geez, I didn't think I'd see that anytime soon. Monero up, thankfully, but then all these other projects as well that you don't normally hear about being up, and they're up on the weekly. Here's Bitcoin's chart, the Mine Your Biz, patented mining chopsticks. Do they ever lie? No, not in the long term. Guys, these are the jokes. I'm not a technician. But we do have RSI added to our indicators here. And so we will be going over that a little more in detail. We'll be using RSI and MACD to do slightly more informed technical analysis, we'll call it. But to be very clear, we have this chart so that we're aware of where Bitcoin has been. And even the most talented technicians will tell you, this is Mind Your Biz, you've heard this as well, the most talented technical analysts will tell you they can't tell the future. Their charts pretty much only tell you the past.
Yes.
And while they don't have a crystal ball, they don't know the future. So even the most skilled technician can help you understand what might be likely to happen, but they can never tell you with 100% certainty what will definitely happen.
It's more like an educated guess.
Exactly. So we're trying to educate ourselves as we go and learn a little bit more about how to do something that's a little more educated and a slightly better guess than these big old chopsticks that are kind of generic, right? Or these big ranges here. So RSI will be part of what we're using. MACD has Well, on the daily, you see right there, we're currently in a bullish histogram on the MACD. We've had a convergence event, and now it's beginning to diverge to the bullish side. So check to see if that histogram grows, if we get like additional volume as well. We have had a couple of really high volume, mostly green candle days. So that is bullish, I think. And I don't know if this, this tiny little red candle, tiny little red volume marker there. I'm a little bit concerned when we have these low volume days behind any kind of a move. Plus, we've got a little like hatchet right there, right? A little tomahawk right there. Really long wicks, really tiny candle. So yeah, not a lot of strength there. We might be in for a reversal just based on the daily candle, right? And the volume alone. So I'm kind of looking for a trend, some kind of a trend to lock onto, and it could be that we redefine the chopsticks somewhere around here, Mrs. Mind Your Biz, as we learn more about RSI and add that to our little TA toolbox and matrix. So we'll see about that. Hey, I see our view count popping way up, and I just got to say thank you so much, Mind Your Biz community, for sharing the link. It is such a huge lift. This is how we get our subscribers and our non-subscribers to see this content while we're live. Amish Muscle is in the chat and says, you want to read his comment?
Always high or low probability as a chartist. This is the facts. Yo, Mind Your Biz. Any news on the Heart wallet? I know you and RH had chatted. I hope he takes your advice. He seemed open.
You know, I really appreciate that, Almost Muscle. And yeah, you know what? RH, you got to be careful about the algorithm, too. RH is, he's a person who I hold in very high regard, have a lot of respect for. He's built something that's truly fantastic and has helped a significant number of people to gain a significant amount of, really life-changing wealth. So mad respect for having done that. Most people talk about that as though it's easy, and he's made it look easy because he's done it, right? So kudos to him for that. With RH's wallet, I don't know. I don't have a follow-up on the RH wallet, and I don't know if it's going to be based on the Rabi code base, because it is open source, and it's not made by consensus, right? Or based on the MetaMask code base. So I sincerely hope it did go that direction, because if they did create a mobile version of that, and then they were able to contribute that back to the code base, it would be a huge lift. Now, Rabi is owned by DBank, so they're owned by DBank, so there could be a corporate conflict of interest where RH and his development team don't want to be associated because they don't want to appear to be supporting the DBank corporation and the rest of their product line. So I don't know. I haven't followed up on that. I probably should. You're right. And Amish Muscle comes through with a really kind comment saying, "You've always been my favorite personality on Around the Blockchain, bro. Thanks so much. Really appreciate that. We do try to keep it real. Seriously, we do. Mrs. Mind Your Biz knows. We're always, hey, and there's Mrs. Mind Your Biz. The camera just said, you got to see her today. Okay, here we go.
Done.
Oh, doxed. Oh, no. She's forever immortalized. I can't even.
I look like crap, hun.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't think you look like crap. I think you look like my wife. Okay, so whatever, guys. These are not the moments you tuned in for, but you're getting them anyway. So appreciate that, guys. Yeah, we'll see if RH does take that feedback a little more seriously about potentially, using the DBank code base for the Rabi wallet. But let's go back to that screen share. Oh, there it is. Okay, jumping back in. Yeah, we are going to get a little bit more involved with some of our charting abilities here. But yeah, guys, I don't want to oversell my abilities today. Let's talk about the cost to mine one full Bitcoin. These are numbers that I'm very comfortable with. And over here with custom hardware, the S19 XP, so top of the line Bitmain product. This is kind of what we need to use as a benchmark, I think. At 140 terahash, 3,500 watts, and about 8 cents per kilowatt hour, which you've heard me on previous episodes say is accessible to anyone in the lower 48 United States. You can find a way to get 8-cent power. I promise you, you can. If you look for it, it is there. So you will find that 8-cent power. And then at a 1% pool fee, you're looking at mining one full Bitcoin at just a little over $12,000. And I think, based on our chart, I think that you'll be happy with that in the long run. That's kind of right within this blue line, ultra value buy range, right? The sort of, the generic Frosted Flakes buy range. You'll be very happy in the future. Now, it might not be for the short term or the midterm. If we do drop down below $10,000, you'll be like, this guy's an idiot. Why did I listen to him? But, in the long run, acquiring Bitcoin at that price and then having it be a so-called Coinbase transaction that is off exchange, that you did not have to dox or do KYC or AML to get, you'll be very happy having those coins because you didn't have to KYC to get those coins. So yeah, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Cost to mine on GPUs right now, if you bring that down to 8 cents per kilowatt hour, we do have some winners and losers there. Only 3 cards that are actually in the profit. Top of the line from NVIDIA, which is steadily dropping in price. They had it at $9.99 last time we checked in. Now it's at $9.95. I know it's not a lot. The point is the trend is working in our favor. This stuff is getting cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. You're actually leaning into where the camera will see you. Oh. Yeah. If you were worried about that, that's how that works. Sorry. There you go.
Hi.
Hello. Is it me you're looking for? All right. So, yeah, my wife is blushing. I'm such a cornball. Seriously. What? Why did you marry me?
Oh, so many reasons.
Okay. Sometimes, I think most people in the audience are like, yeah, I don't get it either. What's wrong? This girl might be legally not well.
I'm really underslept. I might start to say things that you don't want me saying on your show. It's dirty, really.
Bow, chicka, bow, bow. All right, so we'll keep it PG, maybe PG-13.
No, PG. We can go.
Throw in some innuendos, but can't do anything R-rated. All right. Okay. Let alone TVMA, man, what does TV come to? People have no mooring, no moral standards anymore. So 3 cards that are in the profit still. We got the Radeon 6800 and the 6800 XT. These are the only 3 that are actually turning any kind of profit, and they're between $1,000 to about $500,000. And we got Gundy Stuff and Things in the chat saying, yo, what's up, Crypto Nation? Got the sunglasses because he plays it cool. That's just how Gundy Stuff and Things is. Thank you so much for spending some time with us, Gundy. But yeah, we only got 3 GPUs that are actually in the money right now if you are trying to mine with them. And the price to acquire a brand new one, not so great. Yeah, not awesome. Don't love that. That makes me feel bad in my heart. This is Mind Your Biz. This is why I've not been buying GPUs. Aren't you so glad that I don't blow cash on products that are going nowhere, that have the ROI?
Yes.
Okay, good. Yes, I blow plenty of cash on other stuff, but other things. But yeah, usually there's some kind of utility or ROI to it. But yeah, this is. I don't think a really great point right there. They do not allow you to sort according to price. If anybody from What to Mine is watching, or if you get this forwarded to you, please, just as a feature request, please do add a sort by price and not a sort by hash rate. That's not the most important thing, but a sort by release date. Why wouldn't you just let people sort that way? Or then, alphabetical sorting, right? When they click on model. That would be something that would make sense. And it's something that if I felt like it, I could take all of your data from your API and I could throw into a spreadsheet and allow people to do that. So there. Do you want a spreadsheet to be better than your platform? Of course you don't. Just add that as a simple toggle and we'll all be very happy, right? Yeah. Add that feature or the RTX 3090 gets it. Oh my gosh. And over 33,000 day break-even point. No thanks. Everything's looking bad, though. Yeah, they don't have all the data in here either. So just take that with a grain of salt. Mind your Biz community, that it's not going to be quite like you think it's supposed to be. We do have some issues there. So, just be careful when you're sorting through this data set. It's you don't need to take it at face value. It's going to be a little bit different from how most people think. All right, so moving on. We got our news. We did it. This is Mind Your Biz. We can start the news.
We made it.
Well, yeah, we're almost. We got to the starting line. Are you ready?
Okay,
are you ready to sprint?
Get set.
All right, here we go. So what's our headline?
Coinbase shares drop 9% after Wells Fargo issues profitability warning.
Profitability warning? Is it Wells Fargo's job to issue a profitability warning for a stock?
I don't know.
I don't know either, but it definitely seems like this would be textbook market manipulation, doesn't it?
Well, if it's a bank, I'm just going to assume yes.
It seems like media manipulation, bare minimum, right? Like we see this with the Elon Musks and gosh, who else has really tried to pump meme stocks and stuff? Michael Saylor, some others on social media. They do that, but a bank? Really? So a press release that essentially is kind of dumping the price of Coinbase. But we talked about this off camera. I told the Mind Your Biz community, I told everybody on a Clubhouse when I was doing regular daily shows on Clubhouse that I thought that the Coinbase IPO was bearish for the market. I thought that Coinbase admitting to needing to raise funds was a very poor sign of corporate health, or a sign of poor corporate health, and that this could only end badly. Well, here we are, fast forward a little while, and you got even Wells Fargo just like trying to take a poop on Coinbase's front lawn. Ouch. And as a result, their coins drop by more than 9%. The shares. This is their actual ticker symbol on exchanges, like on stock exchanges, not a ticker symbol on coin exchanges, right? So, oof. So, Gundy Stuff and Things drops some alpha in the chat, says, get ready. Cheap prices incoming on that hardware, that is. Totally right. All right. Additionally, have news coming out of BN Crypto. And, we did mention we were going to kind of preview this, but what's our headline here?
Ethereum proof of work price gains momentum with Binance's new mining pool.
There you go. I think that does explain that giant green bubble over here on cryptobubbles.net.
It's climbing.
Was that?
Yeah, it was at 107 when we started. Now
wow.
It's at 109.
What? Wow. Okay, so the percentage gain is definitely up. But I mean, that's double in a day. That's killer, right? So, I mean, hey, manipulation work. I think that's the key takeaway that I'm getting. Cheating and manipulation work.
Great.
Yeah. Remember to fight the Chinese way. Manipulation. Oh, sorry. Wells Fargo did it too. Sorry, it's the American way now. Manipulation and media bias and rumors and vicious rumors. Oh, yeah. Well, there you go. It does work, though. The difference is here with proof of work, they do have a mining pool. So there are people who are committing their resources to shore up this network, right? They are actually mining to this pool. But the question is, who's really doing this? What's funny? I killed from our lineup. I killed our mining pool stats.stream page. Let me pull that back up and see if maybe we can get some info from that, Mrs. Mind Your Biz. So here, we should be able to see that not under ETC hash. We should be able to see it under ETH hash. And ETH hash, this should show us Ethereum proof of work. It's pretty low in terms of the overall hash rate that's going into it. No. What? No, it's not. Good grief. Why did they do that? Why did they manipulate it like that? That's so messed up, because Ethereum proof of work really is above all other coins that use the same algorithm. So, well, there you have it, guys. Manipulation. I'm not going to go advocating that you go like whatever mine this coin. But we don't have Binance pool. Nope, there it is. It is added and just launched. So there we go. 2 days old, essentially, or a day old. Launched yesterday, September 28th, as of the time of recording. September 28th, and steadily gaining hash rate as it goes. Just really starting to pop all the way up from not much now to over about a half terahash of hash rate. So yeah, pretty crazy stuff, guys. Pretty intense seeing this kind of manipulation. Binance, apparently it's the Binance.com, which they claim is in the U.S. It's got a U.S. IP address. But, I mean, how will it compare to, 2 miners, F2 pool, these others that have significantly more hash rate? I mean, I don't know. Do you think maybe that is what caused the price uplift? Or I don't know if the data if it's really backing that up. But the halo effect of Binance as an exchange saying they're going to support this, I think that probably helped them out a lot.
Probably.
Yeah, personally. So, yeah, back over to the news. Russia agrees on a draft crypto mining law in energy-rich regions. Do we dare talk about Russia on YouTube?
Oh.
That's our first question.
Oh,
you need to be close to the mic.
Oh, only negatively, and then I think we're okay.
Those damn Russians. Okay, moving on. Yeah, thank you for being my North Star there. Yeah. Well, we can't talk about this as this is a news article. Apparently, they have resorted to working with the authorities in Russia, resorted to working on regulatory clarity that will affect the country's crypto mining space, spelling out conditions that operators must adhere to. So the very Bank of Russia, alongside their Ministry of Finance, are working on a law that will guide crypto mining with the main focus on areas where the activity should be allowed. So because it is an energy-rich region, right, Eastern Europe, but Russia, Eastern Europe, it kind of makes sense that in areas where there's some energy exploration or where they know they're going to be able to access various different types of energy. In the same way that we see that in Texas and across the United States here. Talked about the methane flaring the other day. If you see that kind of stuff happening in Russia, it would make sense that they're trying to capture as much of the energy coming out of those drilling operations and exploration sites and like whatever it is that they're doing to be able to capture the value there and not have to export it out to the grid because it's actually really hard to do. Most people don't understand how hard it can be to export energy from one side of where it's found to another side. Yeah. Back out to where people actually use it on the grid. Nord Stream pipeline is one prime example. Right? Fingers crossed for the people of Western Europe. But we're not talking about Nord Stream. Talking about like the remote areas of Russia. I think this could be bullish for Bitcoin. I think this could be bullish for most of proof of work. But I think it could also be very bearish for international relations. I think this could wind up being a huge problem if we see that Russia goes a lot like El Salvador towards a sort of a lessened dependence on external sources of funding. Right. So as it is right now, the Russian ruble is quite strong in the Forex markets. It's doing very, very well. In fact, it's breaking ankles, like just destroying everything else out there. But they still need commerce, right? They still need international trade. If they were able to start mining more internally, they might need that less. And that would accelerate anti-crypto legislation here in the West. So I don't know. I think maybe short-term bullish, but maybe mid-term bearish, maybe long-term bullish as well. But we're going to have that little messy middle where people are like, damn Russians. And yeah, they don't think about it any more than that. But interesting stuff that's coming out of there and definitely noteworthy. So don't sleep on Russia. That's been our mistake the entire time. Moving on in the news, what's happening in the Caribbean?
The Caribbean is pioneering CBDCs. With mixed results. Okay, CBDCs with mixed results amid banking difficulties.
Okay, interesting. I don't know. Oh, that's a very, very, very creepy image there. She looks way too excited to consume a CBDC. And I don't know whose white glove that is, but I have this, it's got sort of like Bond villain vibes, right? Where it's like, here, eat this. And
Dr. No there.
Right? And she's got this like, this unreasonable grin, like, this is good for me. I totally won't be poisoned by this and die.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of the whites of her eyes.
Yeah, right.
A little too high on whatever this is.
Right. Yeah. But I look at that and I think like, no, you probably shouldn't eat that because it definitely will be the last thing you do, right? Like, don't give in to the CBDC. Yeah. Don't find a way to resist if any way you can. I mean, jokes aside, apparently there are 35 nations that have some issues there, and there is a banking solutions company, MTech. So Carmel Cadet, who is a native of Haiti, has experience working with central banks in Haiti and Ghana, and her company exploring aspects of a United States CBDC. So they're part of the Technical Sandbox program that's exploring the U.S. CBDC. And she said they're rolling out functioning CBDCs in the region would be a long game. Yeah, they say it's easy to see why. Well, yeah, we know. The FATF is really pushing for a CBDC. We have the Fed here and the Treasury that, despite what Jerome Powell is saying, like, oh, it's not happening anytime soon. It's happening. They're putting in the research. They want us to move to this CBDC. They want us to want it. They want us to beg for the CBDC. So they're doing everything they can to, like, for example, make the traditional proof of work and other coins look like they're only used by the bad guys, right? So it's all part of the same playbook. But I'm a little bit concerned about this. I'm sure that this person means well. Oh my gosh. And in Barbados, no less. What? Oh my gosh. Oh. Okay, well, let's go ahead and read her tweet. Do you mind? Can you read Carmel's tweet?
Yeah. Financial inclusion is possible. Modern regulatory frameworks plus modern technology banks have moved away from the Caribbean, and cost of payments is not going down. It feels like punishment indeed. Thank you for testifying in front of Congress on this topic. #Barbados.
Yeah, and apparently she's retweeting a tweet by Mia Amour Motley. You mind reading hers as well?
Sure. Moments ago, I gave a testimony to the U.S. House Committee on Financial Services on the impact of de-risking in the Caribbean. Unfair and unjust reports, requirements, and potential blacklisting poses serious consequences for all aspects of our society. It can and must change.
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of an issue. And then she's got a quote here as well. Let's go ahead and let's end on this note, though.
When we were growing up, opening a bank account was part of our rites of passage in becoming an adult. Today, we spend weeks, and businesses that come into our region spend weeks and months just to open a bank account.
That does seem like it's a bit of unnecessary friction when it comes to banking. And one of the initial goals of crypto was to bank the unbanked. It does that very well. I don't know that we need a CBDC to do that, but it is obvious that various regimes, I won't call them systems of government, but just regimes, they're interested in a CBDC, probably more so than the people. So I still don't trust it. I love what their intentions are here. I don't think they're using the right means to achieve that end. What do you think, Mrs. MineYourBiz?
I don't like CBDCs. That's what I think.
Thanks for telling us.
That's how I feel.
Good.
It's just an opinion. That's how I feel.
There you go. Mrs. MineYourBiz opinion is that she doesn't like CBDCs, and that maybe you shouldn't either. Maybe. But UkiDAO members explore options in response to a CFTC lawsuit. Who the heck is UkiDAO? Well, they're a DAO. They're looking into a response to charges that were filed against them by the CFTC, the United States Commodities Futures Trading Commission. This is one of the other groups. There's the SEC that is for securities. There's the CFTC that is the law enforcement wing of our federal government that is for commodities, right? They kind of do similar jobs. They are complements to each other. But it's also sort of that like red versus blue. Well, what about green? What about purple? What about yellow? There's so many other colors, right? Orange too. They have this false dichotomy of like, well, you got to be regulated by the securities group or you got to be regulated by the commodities group. You can't just not be regulated. It's like, well, no, we've got unincorporated areas of land where you're not regulated in the same way. We've got all kinds of gray areas in this country and everywhere internationally. So no, it's a false choice. But apparently this DAO was sued by them. Gundy stuff and things comments, not financial advice, but I'm staying far away from CBDCs. I like that. I like that not financial advice. That's the best not financial advice that I've heard all day.
I approve.
Yeah. You got Mrs. MineYourBiz's seal of approval. So you must be doing something right. But yeah, they are trying to figure out how they respond. This is pretty sensitive, right? Having DAOs be sued. I think we talked about this the other day offline, Mrs. MineYourBiz, is that you mentioned that the issue, you read up on this a little bit. I think the issue was that if they respond, there's a problem. If they don't respond, there's a problem. How did you understand that?
I can't remember. I'm so tired. I'm sorry.
Okay. No, fair enough. Fair enough. Been a long night, been an early morning. And yeah, I think if I remember your comments correctly, what you told me was that apparently if they respond, there is now an entity behind the DAO that can be dragged into legislation. Mm-hmm. And if they don't respond, then judgment is awarded to the plaintiff by default.
Yes. Okay, sorry. I totally forgot. Yes. Yeah, it was a total catch-22. You respond to fight it, but then you dox yourself.
Right. So if you respond, you're doxed. If you don't respond, they win.
Yes.
Pretty messed up. So they're trying to figure out how they do this, maybe how they work with third parties.
But either way, it's a trick. It's a trick because even if they don't win the case, now they know who's on there.
Right. Yeah. So there you go. If you thought that a DAO was a safe haven in the United States, you're wrong. DAOs are not the right way to go. I think I was looking at the possible formation of a DAO here in the state of Wyoming, which offers legal DAO structures, but it's I don't think it's worth the trade-offs. There are so many other ways to set up a business entity. I'm not going to harp on that publicly because I can give you some advice as a consultant. So if you want to learn more about that, always reach out. DMs are open, and I try to be very generous with my time as time permits. But moving on, we got some Cardano news. What's up with Cardano?
See, Cardano DEX reports Vasal's impact on fees and transaction size. Details.
Oh, details? What are the details? Tell me, Wobbled. You like the way I said that? I think I said it right. So IOHK said, we're pleased to announce that after a successful Vasil upgrade on the 22nd of September, the new capabilities, including Node and CLI support for reference inputs, inline datums, reference scripts, along with the new Plutus cost model, are now available on the Cardano mainnet. Everybody was very, very excited about this. Right, this is big news if you are into using command line interface tools and scripting. If you just want to use like a wallet on your phone, you're kind of out of luck. But apparently somebody somewhere can use this, and that somebody is probably a very advanced user who's actually just a programmer. So I mean, I'm excited. Aren't you excited? Yes. You're a programmer, right? You're all programmers? No. Okay. Just me. I'm the only one. All right. This seems a little bit not usable yet, but it takes time to build these things. And they say shortly after the deployment and launch of Plutus V2, Cardano founder Charles Hoskinson took to Twitter to ask if anyone had launched the V2 contract yet. Yeah, so most projects were underway in launching V2 contracts. And then the Muesli Swap, which describes itself as the first decentralized exchange for Cardano, and Milko Media says it is close to launching its Plutus V2 scripts. It did, however, share some benchmarks showing the impact of the Vasil upgrade. So, yeah. So it looks like the Plutus V2 size has decreased by a significant amount. It is now 1/10 the size, and the fee is about half the fee. How does that work if it's 1/10 the size, but it's half the fee? Okay, good grief. All right, well, we're getting there, right? We're getting there. But the point is that you would expect there would be some kind of a linear progression on both sides. You'd hope that if it's 1/10 the size, that it's 1/10 the fee.
Right.
But here we are. Okay, guys, there you go. Proof that Cardano is the future of not linear fee reductions. So we'll see. We'll see how that turns out. Needed to talk about it just briefly, though. Okay, getting back through the news, we got from the block something coming out of BlackRock. This one kind of had me worried, sweetie. Yeah. What do we got here?
BlackRock launches ETF in Europe with blockchain and crypto company exposure.
Yeah, well, BlackRock. First off, who the heck is BlackRock? Well, BlackRock is an international fund that is buying up like the world as we know it. They're just buying up all kinds of stuff. Really glad we don't have that on screen. But they launched the iShares blockchain technology, UCITS, UCITS. Running into my mic with my hat. It makes me so sad. But they launched an ETF. It's got a longer acronym that just doesn't make any sense. But the world's largest asset manager has been increasingly engaging in crypto, having recently announced the launch of a private trust offering direct exposure to Bitcoin. Two things that I'm worried about here. Now, getting having a private trust that offers exposure to Bitcoin is important if you're using the traditional vehicles such as an IRA or a 401k. If you need to get portfolio exposure that is federally recognized or that is recognized by your government, you need to do so through some kind of a trust. You can't just put Bitcoin in a hardware wallet and tell Uncle Sam, well, my IRA owns this now. My 401k owns this now. Magic. Okay, I have this in my 401k. They don't permit that. You do have to work through some of these other vehicles. So I get it. For a lot of people, this is what they know. This is what they understand. And they're going to need to do this. But BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager. What is it? Oh, you're an asset manager. Oh, you must be safe. What it means is they control everything. And we don't. So when you get exposure to the trust, you're getting exposure to technically a derivative. It's not the real thing. That's like them having gold in their vault and just promising you, hey, we got this gold in the vault, and it's got your name on it, for sure. But I don't know, I won't speak for BlackRock, but banks certainly do this thing called rehypothecation, right? They have one gold bar, and they say, we've definitely got a gold, look, here's the gold, I can show you a picture of it. Here's the gold bar. It's got your name on it, it's yours. And they do the same thing to 10 other people. Yeah. Right? We got this gold bar, it's got your name on it. This is yours.
Suspiciously like a Ponzi scheme. How could a bank do that?
Yeah, right.
Isn't that illegal?
Fractional reserve banking is literally a Ponzi scheme.
Yeah.
It's crazy that it's been allowed to happen, right? But there you go. So the same, in my opinion, is true or could be true of various private trusts and asset management, right? It's like, okay, well, how do you keep your books? How do we know for sure that your books are clean and that we can trust what you're actually doing? We can't always trust what they're doing. The audits don't always prove that these guys are being honest with us. So yeah, I worry about that. BlackRock is buying everything up, and I think this is one of those few scenarios in which Bitcoin does fail. Like, there is a future in which Bitcoin can fail, and I think that one of those futures is the future where massive asset managers and institutional money that everybody was begging for buys up as much of the Bitcoin as they possibly can, and it's no longer something that people own. It's something that just major institutions own, and then they fudge the books. They lie to us about how much they're really able to loan out or sell or buy. And then we have the same problem that we got with gold, right? And that we had after 1971.
Yeah. There's the end game, folks. You heard it here.
Yeah, right? This is, I mean, in my opinion, it ain't rocket science. You think about it long enough, and anybody who's been interested in like the history of central banking and such, you see that cycle repeating. I do anyway. I think we've talked about this. I think you do too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're on the same page here. Sound money is pretty important. It has been for a long time. Ron Paul had it right. He's been saying it for 50 years, right? Almost 50 years. Yeah.
Least, yeah.
And the fact that Bitcoin wasn't invented yet, that was no fault of his, right? He wasn't a tech expert, but he knew that we needed to fix that.
Once he understood it, he got on board, though.
Oh, yeah. Ron Paul is a big-time Bitcoiner. He is. He's into Bitcoin for sure. For that aspect, the hard money aspect. But I worry about BlackRock. I worry about Grayscale. I worry about all these other groups that are, that are talking about, like, it's okay. You need this in your 401k, and we'll hold it for you. It'll be safe. F that. Hold it yourself in your own wallet. Tell these guys to pound sand and prepare yourself for the apocalypse. I'm not being hyperbolic. So moving on. Bitcoinist has a new article coming out of Thailand. Mrs. MineYourBiz, what's going on there?
Thai SEC sues BitCub. Did I say that right?
I think so.
Okay. BitCub crypto exchange for alleged wash trade.
Oh man, the Thai SEC. Why do you guys have to? Why do you guys have to believe in the rule of law? Can't Thailand just be a giant free for all? Can't we just go there and just do whatever we want and lie and cheat and steal? Apparently not. So when you do have any kind of crypto on exchange, apparently you do have to play by the rules, or at least you have to not get caught breaking the rules. And BitCub, is in trouble for wash trading. Here's the thing. In the United States, on cryptocurrency exchanges, and in Europe, in cryptocurrency exchanges, because it's not regulated completely and there's not full regulatory clarity, there is actually no law against wash trading. I know, it's crazy, right? If you trade Tether or USDC or BUSD, any of the stable coins, you trade it against Bitcoin, there is no law against wash trading. And spoiler alert, we're going to jump back a few years. Spoiler alert, let's jump back to, say, October, or about this time of year, 2017. That's why we got $20,000 Bitcoin, because it was wash traded against Tether. So if memory doesn't serve you, MineYourBiz community, that's why it happened. Latrell is in the chat and says, print all that money and buy up all the actual resources. I know, it's crazy, right? It's almost like they're trying to destabilize society so they can, bend us to their will, bend us to their whims. Oh, man, who would do that? Our government wouldn't do that. Nobody's government would do that. Apparently in Thailand, though, they could not abide this perceived wash trade, or the alleged wash trade, on BitCub crypto exchange. Personally, I don't know. I don't know that's a huge problem. The SEC alleged that the exchange, let's see, So then they have their own version of the SEC. They literally call it the SEC. Yeah, alleged that they did this, and they want them to pay a fine of about $500,000. Which, let's be very clear. In Thai baht, when you convert your dollars into Thai baht, that's a lot of money, right? Relative to that market, that is a lot of money. It's a heftier fine. So this might be something that is really difficult for that exchange to muster and pay. But yeah, I don't think that this is great. Siam Commercial Bank withdraws plans for $500 million BitCub funding. Aw, man. Okay, well, apparently they had some setbacks. They're just being kicked while they're down. Essentially, this tells me that they ran afoul of somebody in the Thai government, and And so now they are,
coming for blood.
pretty much they're just scheduled for termination, right? That's, what is it, Equilibrium, that Christian Bale movie. They're just slated for, for whatever it is.
I can't remember what they did in that movie.
Yeah, they're just scheduled for erasure, whatever it is.
Did they just erase their brains, or did they just kill them? I can't remember.
I don't remember, but basically, whatever it is that happened, right? So Christian Bale's going to come after you on some weird psychotropic drugs, and he's going to stab you with a samurai sword. That's what's happening to them right now, right? Yeah, they're done. They're done. Goodbye, BitCub. They want you gone. Wells Fargo, I think, we talked about that before. That plunged by 3%. I'm sorry, Armand. You are a little late, sir. It's plunged by much more than that. USDC, we got some news coming out of AMB Crypto. Mrs. Mind Your Biz, what's happening with USDC?
USDC to be welcomed by 5 new blockchain ecosystems.
Yeah, this I think is probably bullish. It's probably good for USDC to be adopted by more, but I'm a little bit concerned because it legitimizes some of the U.S. Treasury's blacklist through the Office of Foreign Assets Control, which Circle has said they will be compliant toward, and then they are willing to engage in censorship. I don't like what USDC has done, and it makes me worried that there are new exchanges that want to onboard them. Let's see if we got a tidy list here, though. No, why would we get a list of the actual exchanges? They'll just claim that it's being listed by 5 of these and then not mention who they are. But it will be... Sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
I was like, there it is, right?
What? Where?
I
Huh?
don't know.
No. What?
It's got to be in there somewhere, hun.
I'm just glossing past it.
You scan better than I do, though, so...
Yeah, so they were exiled by Binance. They were kicked off of WazerX, which I think was a very solid move on both their parts. They'll just auto-convert it to BUSD, so anything that's happening on their platform is compliant with other rules, and they don't have to worry about USDC. Nope, they're pretty much... Yeah, no. Yeah, why would you list the actual exchanges when you can just claim they're going to be listed by 5 new blockchain ecosystems, not exchanges? All right, so maybe this is much ado about nothing, and if they're decentralized blockchain ecosystems, then fine. That's fine. I think it's totally okay. But I think there's a risk, a very serious risk, for people who are using USDC and thinking that it is censorship resistant or censorship free. That is not true. These folks are basically showing us that they're perfectly willing to work with the feds and make your life very difficult. Mrs. Mind Your Biz, you got like 10 minutes left.
Oh.
Go to the program.
Trying to wake up.
I know you're trying.
I'm sorry.
Just a glass of water right there. There you go.
The one I was telling you to piss in?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, it is. It is.
How you doing?
I mean, now it's like Russian roulette. Have a sip.
I'm good.
Did I take your advice or not?
I'm fine.
Right? We'll see. If your life depends on it, should I take your advice? All right, so moving on to in the news cycle, we got more coming out of the block crypto. Coming out of Europe, AML rules could implicate DeFi, DAOs, and NFT. So pretty complex stuff, right? Anti-money laundering is stuff that we all take very seriously. We don't want to see money laundered. We don't want to see forged currency out in the markets. Hey, the Deadwood is here as well and says, good morning, Mind Your Biz fam. But we don't want to see manipulation, right, by criminals. We really don't. Nobody does. We don't want to see overt criminal activity. So AML as a concept is a good idea. AML as legislation generally kind of becomes a little bit weird, right? So regulation is the hard part. But we don't want to see criminals getting away with our hard-earned money. We just don't want to see like anti-competitive rules made. Their quick take is a series of amendments drafted for the EU Parliament's opinion on anti-money laundering regulation seems to eliminate rules on transferring funds to unhosted wallets. That's not a real thing, by the way. Mind Your Biz community, if anybody ever says this to you, it means they're being brainwashed by the mainstream media. There's no such thing as an unhosted wallet. Every wallet is always hosted somewhere. There is custodial or non-custodial, right? If somebody else is holding it for you, it's custodial. And that means that you do not have access to your own funds. If you're holding it yourself, it is non-custodial. We could come up with different terms for this, but that prevents us from understanding the truth of the matter. There's no such thing as an unhosted wallet. And they're using this kind of terminology to confuse you and make you suggestible to what they want to do, make you susceptible to their brainwashing. Don't fall for it. The amendments push for including decentralized finance, decentralized autonomous organizations, and NFTs into anti-money laundering provisions. There remains a series of steps ahead for the draft amendments before they are adopted. If you are in Europe, MineYourBiz community, MineYourBiz fam, if you're across the pond, do what you can to push against this legislation and make sure that it is revisited and rewritten until it doesn't suck. Is that fair?
Sounds fair.
Okay, yeah, so get active, right? Think global, act local. If you're over in that market, do be as vocal as you can be. Do go and have your voice heard. If you have any kind of corporate entities that can take part in the political process, I'm not sure if that's possible for the body politic in the EU. Certainly here in the United States, it is possible. You can use your corporate entities as a political platform, but we have different problems that we're facing over here. So we will be doing that here on our end with the recent executive order. The Deadwood says, smash the thumbs up all, please. Help MineYourBiz climb up the YouTube ranks. Thanks much. Appreciate that. Thanks so much, The Deadwood. Very, very kind of you. Let's jump back into our news, though. Got, I think, one last article. You mind reading this one off for us? Ms. MineYourBiz.
Is Ethereum censorship a concern post-merge? I don't know. Is the sky blue?
There you go. Yeah. There you go. Mrs. MineYourBiz, who is a self-professed, not expert in these matters, knows enough to know we are now in very likely censorship territory.
Right.
And with the merge. This is very obvious. And Vitalik Buterin, the founder and the OG, right, of Ethereum, he's even said, like, hey, if we catch people doing the censorships, then we're gonna slash you. We're gonna slash your rewards. We're gonna disincentivize you. But who do you think Vitalik fears more? People who are running a bad validator, or the U.S. and Canadian governments?
Oh, you'll have to answer that question. I don't know.
I think he's a little more afraid of the U.S. and Canadian governments. I think he's worried about getting some of his stuff shut down or classified as a security, which ironically, if he complies to their requests, it shows that there is no censorship resistance, and it makes it more likely to be classified as a security.
Tough spot to be in.
Right? It's pretty messed up. But Gary Gensler knows this too and has been definitely putting him against the ropes. So not a good time to be Vitalik. Not a good time to be an Ethereum maxi, unfortunately. Even though the EVM, the core tech that it's based on, is pretty amazing stuff. And there's a lot of value locked on their chain. Yeah, bad times. Very bad times in Ethereum land. Let's check out DeFi Llama. Quick check. And again, our Ethereum dominance, it's pretty high. This is why it's such a big problem, right? We've got $31 billion of value locked on the Ethereum chain. This is not including Ethereum's market cap. This is all of the other tokens, all of the other DeFi, all of the other NFTs. Well, many of them anyway, as measured by DeFi Llama, shows it's got tens of billions of dollars locked there. So we really can't afford to have Ethereum messed with by the SEC. It's going to be a serious problem. Yeah, so the Deadwood says, I worry about ETH and the WEF links happening. I like that. I do like the way you phrased that. Yeah, the WEF links. So it is a bit of an issue for sure. And yeah, with the current lineup, we've got Ethereum, Tron still in the number 2 spot. I don't know how they've managed to eke forward in the ranking there with that TVL, but they have. Some of that could be some manipulation. I don't know if anybody's actually building on it, though. 10 protocols say they are. BSC, Avalanche, and Polygon. So Polygon's back in that top 5. Protocol support puts it in the top 3. Guys, in case it isn't painfully obvious, I've been talking about it for a while. Polygon is a favorite of mine. I do like it. Map of zones, I want you to just be aware of this tool. I keep on bringing it up because I want you to look at this on your own time. Very powerful tool for you to learn more about the Cosmos ecosystem. I think you're going to need to know about this. Are there scams on Cosmos? What do you think? Could scams launch on that platform? Is that possible?
It could happen anywhere.
Correct. Yeah. All you need is any kind of a platform at all, and a scammer will come along, right? So Cosmos is no stranger to having quick cash grabs, grifts, scams, maybe sometimes not overt scams, but just people who are grifters. They're like, hey, easy money. They're going to show up as soon as anybody gets that perception. So just to be aware of that. And this is another tool for you to be sure that you don't fall prey to those scams or those quick grifts. That said, Crypto.com and the Kronos network, they launched on this ecosystem, or by being partnered with this ecosystem. it's a very powerful thing to know that Crypto.com was interested in this platform primarily, right? It wasn't just the Ethereum technology, their EVM. It was this ecosystem too. So very, very powerful thing. There's Kronos. Technically it's crypto.org and Kronos are more tightly aligned. Kind of funny that they're still very closely associated with Terra. There's just nothing transferring between those two ecosystems anymore. But yeah, this is a great tool for you. Great visuals, great stacked rankings. You can go over all kinds of different sorting tools, right, for the volume, and then other types of data you can flip into a meaningful representation for you to make decisions. We have been threatening to do our portfolios all week. Can we take a look at them now?
Yes.
All right. So on GPUs, GPU mineable coins, we got Flux still at the top of the list, but below $1. We continue to dip into really great DCA range. Now, I'm not going to chart this because I don't feel confident charting just an individual coin like this. As we get deeper into our study of RSI and MACD, we'll be getting into charts for some of these individual tokens because we do need to know what the long-term prospects are, and maybe if there is a reason to divest and get back in later on, then we want to know that about these GPU mineable coins because it certainly isn't profitable to mine them right now. So we need to know how to manage these portfolios during the lean times. But in this list, we have some coins that seem apparently very manipulated. We've got Etho Protocol and then Grin with a collective market cap of a little over $8 million, but they're just swinging back and forth wildly. We've seen this in the past, right? We saw it with 0x Bitcoin. And I love calling these out. Could this be manipulated?
Whee!
Right? Jeez. Look at that. That's a one-day chart. Peak of 6.8 cents, valley of 6.4 cents. So it's not a whole lot. But yeah, I call foul, right, on this. This is not looking good. Buy box, this is a centralized exchange, and that is where the bulk of market depth is, but then the bulk of trading depth is on gate.io, and there's only about $20,000 back and forth daily, right? So the volume of trades is primarily happening on gate.io, so definitely there's an issue right there. Definitely huge issue. It's not traded decentrally at all, and the majority of all the trading is on gate.io between Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then Tether trading. We've got tens of thousands of dollars. This is entirely possible for one development team to manipulate on their own. Now, I'm not saying that's happening with the Grin development team. I'm just saying it's possible. So I'll let the audience decide. You guys decide, do you think it's manipulated? And I'm going to ask Mrs. MineYourBiz too.
Oh, what do I think?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Could it be?
Maybe.
I don't know. You look at that chart. Is that a chart that a mother would trust?
Oh, no. Well, if you put it that way, then maybe not.
Okay, there you go. You guys heard it from a real life mom. So yeah, I don't trust it either. So Uncle Seth doesn't trust it. Not looking good. Got plenty of other coins that are moving towards down and appear to have a correlation with Bitcoin. We'll take a look at the other charts in just a minute here, but that's our GPU mining portfolio. Hard drive mining. Looks like we've got some things going on here. Least worst offender, right, in terms of our portfolio getting damaged is MadeSafe coin, then storage and Sia coin. Everything else is kind of taking a beating. Filecoin, even though it has a really strong utility and really high market cap, not looking so good in the charts. Did have a good week though, and then so did Chia, but it's still moving towards its all-time low, which I love to see. Maybe the poor investor will get his wish and we'll get $15 Chia coin, and yeah, Mrs. MineYourBiz, we will pick up a few of those. One or two. At $15, why not? But CPU mineable coins, we've got Epic Cash and Raptorium still in profit by 100%, but if you didn't take profits already, then heaven help you, because I don't know. We mentioned that you should have way earlier, so take that kind of stuff seriously, MineYourBiz community. I talk about that stuff for a reason. All right, we got the Deadwood mentioning ETH will roll over to the powers of the WEF. And if I'm not mistaken, but wasn't ETH chosen by the WF as their choice for a currency/partnership? Last year, Rob Grin was at the WF in the Code Summit. Seemed there was a push to control entrepreneurship and markets. Yeah, I think you're right. I think the WF does have an agenda. I think that there is a huge, very, very much a cause for concern when we talk about the WF being being involved in any of these markets, being involved in sort of crafting a future. Is it a future that we want? Probably not. I think it's very, very good observation there by the Deadwood about Ethereum and the dangers of having it be so associated with the WEF. But on our CPU mineable coins, I think one of the few charts that does not look manipulated or compromised is Monero. And then quantum resistant ledger, no, I don't really trust that. Raptorium and Epic Cash are not bad, but mostly Raptorium and Monero. These are the two that I'm keeping my eyes on. Raptorium for fundamentals and for team, Monero for fundamentals, and then everything else kind of like, well, play at your own risk. It is a little bit of a lottery there for sure. ASIC mineable coins. We've got Bitcoin, the King Daddy, at 50% down since we put a trade on our paper tracker. Zcash, 63% down. I'm not a fan any longer, and if they continue to move towards proof of stake, I will be actively, vocally against it. It's a huge mistake to do that. I think we're going to find out, like the Deadwood is mentioning, that Ethereum before long loses all of its finest qualities by going proof of stake and by getting rid of Tornado Cash here in the United States. I think that most of what redeemed it as a platform will be gone when we see when we're a couple months down the road. But Zcash would suffer the same fate, basically. It would not be very good. Litecoin, still proof of work, committed to proof of work, and with the MWeb extension, I'm becoming a bigger fan of it. I think that there could be some real extensibility there, some real use case built on top. Maybe. But everything Litecoin can do, Dogecoin can do better with double the market cap. So, figure that one out. Yeah, the rest of our chart here, Grin looking manipulated AF, Bytecoin looking manipulated AF. What even is that? Right, that formation there. What even is that? It's a Bart Simpson, sort of Bart Simpson with bangs. I don't get that at all. Everything else looking pretty correlated right there to Bitcoin and that midweek pump. So pretty much business as usual. Devault hanging on for dear life. That looks like a final heartbeat. It's about to do its death rattle, and that makes me really sad, but it is what it is. Moving on to FPGA mineable currencies. Gandalf Gray says, smash that like, boys. Hey, that is financial advice, and when Gandalf Gray says it, you got to do it. There's no choice. You just have to. If you think that you have any choice, you're wrong. So FPGA mineable currencies, we've got Cadena at over 100% profit. You should have taken profits before, but here we are talking about it again. And again, somewhat correlated to Bitcoin with that midweek pump. Same with Telor, midweek pump. 0x Bitcoin, totally uncorrelated to everything else. Absolutely marching to the beat of its own drum. Absolute insanity with a market cap of just below $2 million. Probably still totally manipulated by like one or two people who are just like using it as a personal money printer. And I ain't mad at you because they aren't regulated markets. So get that money. Whoever is going and doing that, I've been trying to urge the MineYourBiz community to do that. Whoever's doing that, more power to you. I hope you survive in the apocalypse because I want to learn from you. So Digibyte, also very correlated to Bitcoin, but continuing to move downward. Huge market cap, though, on this list, second only to Cadena. So we'll see that, I think, on the other end, that Digibyte survives, probably. Proof of stake smart contracts. Solana is king of the hill right now. It was Cosmos Hub before. I think the recent dip in this week's pricing has put Solana ahead. But this isn't saying much, right? I don't know that I want to put too much stock in this. This is all relative to our current P&L, the current holdings and our paper tracker. So don't read into it too much, right? This is, I know. Mrs. MineYourBiz is nodding in agreement.
Yes.
Yeah. I think she may have fallen asleep to the sound of my voice. This happens.
Just for a minute.
It's okay. Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. I'm used to this. I'm used to this. I'm used to this, guys.
Oh,
this is my life. So it's okay.
It's just I didn't have my morning cup, not Joe, but my wake up juice.
Yeah, we're a green tea family here. In this house, we believe in green tea and guns.
And guayusa.
Those are the only things we believe in. Do we believe in anything else?
Guayusa. You forgot guayusa. That it's helpful.
There we go. Repositioning my camera. But yes, it's true. That's our morning drink. But
and I did not have mine. I apologize, everyone.
Oh, for shame. Whereas I had a tall cup of like it was some kind of like was it some laudanum and cocaine mixture? I'm feeling great. Is what I'm saying. I feel awesome. Yeah, but I mean, what else is new? I bring the energy, I bring the heat. But Terra Luna Classic, biggest loser. Are we really shocked by that? No. Moving on. Junk drawer. This is all of our moonshot stuff where who knows how it is being manipulated or worked on. Saitama Inu is still the thing that has printed the highest profits. Our position size is totally unrealistic because it's vastly larger than the market cap. We do see this, right? I had somebody once visit the channel who's a content creator who was like, I can't believe you earned so much from Saitama Inu. And I'm like, dude, are you illiterate? That was my actual question because I didn't understand how he managed not to read. The market cap is only $54 million. So we have an unrealistic amount. But the point is, this number right here, the percentage gain, is pretty much accurate. Had we started from a $10 acquisition price, which would have been possible, we would have had that same percentage lift in the profit and loss. So still a phenomenal performer, and I'll stand by what we've been preaching in this bull market cycle. Well, before we got to the bear. Meme coins they seemed like an irrational bet, but they were, I think it's Robert Kiyosaki says sometimes that fleeing to safety is the least safe thing. Yeah. It's something along those lines, right? So it seems counterintuitive, but it's just like we said at the beginning. Fear versus greed. When everybody else is fearful, you have to be greedy. So if you think something is safe, pay attention to who you're taking those cues from. Everybody was saying, like, no, not meme coins, no more meme coins, but here we are melting faces with meme coins. Right. The market spoke louder. And these guys won. I mean, these numbers are not lying. This is pulled from on-chain market data. So Everrise also thousands of percent up, right? Like I think are we over 1,000,000% up? Still, we are. That's crazy, right? So did great there. 600% up on Floki Inu, Luffy Inu still almost 200% up. We're doing better than on these very traditional and very solid projects, but you'd have to have the stomach for speculation. That's the biggest issue here, right? So even though they have tens of millions of dollars in market cap, and they should have enough liquidity for you to get out of whatever position we were in before, like $12 million here, this is the other joke here, right? Everrise, no, we weren't going to buy half the coin supply, and you couldn't actually get $12 million by trying to sell all that right now. You would dump the price so hard that you'd barely get maybe $1 million out of it, right? So that's kind of the joke also. The joke is on you, but even if we did show that at 1/10 of its current profit, that's thousands of percent points up. So I'm not going to apologize for talking about meme coins. Also not going to apologize for talking about Hex, guys. It's finally time for us to talk openly about our Hexuality, right? So don't make it a taboo. Talk about Hex more often. Just saying. That's what we're going to be doing on this channel. But it's not the only thing we talk about, right? We talk about all kinds of projects. IBC gang is suffering, not going to lie, suffering big time. And yeah, you know how the breakdown is there. What I want to jump into is the Dogechain ecosystem. This is new for me, but we mentioned it on the last live stream that we have DC, MetaDoge, Kibble Swap, WW Doge for Wrap Doge, Omnom, Doge King, so many other little random projects that are just kind of launching now that might be able to experience an uplift when we go back to a bull market. So I think that it is worth looking for these speculative projects, being really careful and doing a lot more research. And I would like to kind of pay attention to more of these long shots, these moon shots, because I think that with the current inflation rates, CPI and all the rest, we need to do something that's a little bit risky and a little bit crazy. Right? Kind of like Robert Kiyosaki says.
As much as we can afford to lose, right?
Right. As much as you can afford to lose. Yeah, guys, not financial advice. Don't get yourself wrecked because we're talking about speculative bets. But that's our show for today. Thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. You're the reason that we make this media. I love your face. Remember to stay private and mind your biz.